Welcome to another Scan and Cut Saturday. In this video I will show you how to make this fantastic pop-out insert for your greetings cards. I'm going to be working to a pretend size of 3" by 3", and here is a very quick look at the dimensions I'm going to be working with. If you'd like a printed copy, please do visit my blog. There will be a link in the comments section below. Okay, so you've seen what you can make, and obviously I've given you the dimensions that I'm going to be working to. So I will get started. I log in to canvasworkspace.brother.com with my account credentials. Obviously you will log in with yours. And then we will start a new project by clicking on the new project icon. The first thing that I will do is load up a basic shape, and I will choose a rectangle. I will then also load in a square, and then finally I'm going to choose the shape that will be my aperture. I'll choose something different to the heart that you saw on the preview. Let's go for maybe a scalloped circle. Okay, so they're my shapes that I will need for this project. Now what I'm going to do is move those off to one side, and I will then bring back just the rectangle. I will open the properties dialog box, and I'm going to need to change this rectangle to be 3 inches tall by 6 inches wide, so I will need to turn off the maintain aspect ratio. I'll type the dimensions into the dimensions boxes, and then I have my 3" by 6" rectangle. I am going to turn on the maintain aspect ratio option again though, because I will need that when I select my square, which I'm doing now. This is going to need to be as tall as my rectangle here. So that, if you remember correctly, is 3 inches. And then I will also need to change the height or the width of this shape to fit inside that square. So it needs to be less than 3 inches. I'm going to set it to 2 1/4 inches. Now I select the square again and press D on my keyboard to duplicate it. And then once more I do that again. Now I'm going to select all 3 squares, and from my edit menu I will align them both on the center and the middle options. Using my view menu I will choose fit to selection so that I'm just looking at those squares, and then I will deselect by clicking anywhere away from the shape, and then reselect just that top shape. I will give it a second click, or if you've been away for too long, maybe a double click, and I will choose the top right node. So that's just clicking on that node there so that this line is highlighted, and then I will click open closed outline. This has now opened the square at this point. I want to keep this node, but I want to get rid of this one, top left. So I select it and then press delete point. And then bottom left, select that and delete point. So I'm now left with a line along here. Difficult to see at the moment because it's black on black. So what I'm going to do is open my properties dialog box, go back to my normal editing mode by clicking on the select cursor, and then I will change the line color to this. I'll go for pink. While I have the properties dialog box open, I will change it to be a cutting line, and I will change the pattern to a dashed line. I can now close that, and then I will select the next square in the stack, and my goal this time is to keep the line that's on the left. So I need to again open it here. I am going to delete that line this time, or that node, and then I will select the bottom right hand node and delete that. Go back into my normal editing by clicking on Select, open the Properties dialog box. Again, I am going to change the color, and this is just so I can see it on the screen. Change it to be a cutting line, and change the line pattern to be a dashed line. Okay. Now I'm going to select all three of those things again and press G on my keyboard to group them. From the View menu, I will fit to all content, so that's going to fit it to everything that I've got there. And then now what I need to do is select all three objects. From the Edit menu, align them. And then I need to select that central square group and ungroup it. Then select the square and delete it. So now I have two score lines. Let me zoom in for you. Now I have two score lines, the cut line for the card, which I need to set as a cut line, and then the central aperture, which again I need to set as a cut line. What I need to add though now are two score lines, one here and one here, and they need to be right in the middle of that card shape. So what I'm going to do is select all of these things and group them. Then I'm going to select my path tool, and just before I reach the edge of the card, I will click and then move my mouse down, holding down the Shift key, and then double click to create a line. I will change the properties to a cutting line and change the pattern to a dashed pattern. And then I will press D on my keyboard to duplicate that, and then move it down with the cursor keys on my keyboard to where roughly in the middle. I can then select everything, and again from my edit menu I'm going to use the align function, but this time only on the center. Now I'm going to select the group and ungroup it, and then just highlight the outer rectangle, and I will use the Create Offset tool to create the actual card that this is going to fit inside. So there we have the next one. Now I'm going to move that down the screen a little bit so that I can just see that. And then again I'm going to use my path tool to create the score line in the center of the card. I seem to have got too many nodes there, so I'll just enter the line editing mode and delete those. There we go, that's that sorted. And then with my properties box, again set it to be a cutting line and a dashed pattern, and then select both, use my align tools to align them and then group them. And now if I zoom back out, you can now see that we've got the main card and the central pop-out aperture that we were setting out to create. Now I'm going to group. I will select all of this select group here and then group them, and then I will also group the two things together. And the reason for this is because then if I change the size of the aperture or the card, the aperture or the card will change in proportion to that. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Just before I go though, I will show you one extra little thing. If I ungroup this, I will select just this, and I will use the offset tool, set it to 0.08 inches going inwards, and now what I'm going to do is set that to be a drawing line with a dashed pattern. I'm then going to repeat that process with the central square. So I may need to send a few of these things to the back. Oh, let's try this then. Send to back. Okay, and then offset outline. This time again we're going outwards, and I'll choose the round option for the corner type this time. In properties, drawing line and dashed pattern. And there we have the pop-out insert, but this time when we set to draw on our machine, we will have a faux stitched outline to both the actual insert and also the aperture. As you can see, it's been very easy to create that design, and you can be making them as custom as you like. Now listen, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also leave any comments you have. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more hints, tips and tutorials on all things arts and crafts. Here are a few videos you might like to watch, but in the meantime, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again next time.